Hello, Liam Keane here from Molineux for the Express and Star. I've just seen Wolves lose 3-1 at home to Chelsea, and I said in my video ahead of the game today, in the team news video, that it was a really bold decision from Rob Edwards to make the changes he did, to go with the back four, to go with the very attacking players, and unfortunately I think the only way you can conclude this is that Rob Edwards, the head coach, got it wrong, in my opinion. So Wolves, started the game relatively well. I thought, sort of comfortable, assured, confident. Matheus Marni causing a lot of problems as a number 10, creating a few chances, and sort of the story of that first half really is sort of defensive fragility, real poor penalties to give away, and that sort of undid the good work in really what was 10 minutes or so at the start of the first half. Now Matt Doherty gives away the first penalty, totally needless. João Pedro's going away from goal, just clips at his heels. It's silly really from a player of his experience. Cole Palmer scores. Wolves never really get back into the game a little bit. They're sort of struggling to recover, if you will, in terms of being competitive. And then Yerson Mosquera, a player that I think can do a lot of good things at times, but does other things that baffle me, just goes and shoves João Pedro 2 hands in the back when he's running. He's not running directly towards goal. It's a really bizarre decision. It looks like it might be on the edge, might just be outside the box. It's a really tight one, but I'm not going to complain really. I mean, I think it's a really thoughtless decision from Yerson Mosquera, and really bizarre from him. Again, Cole Palmer steps up and scores, and within 2 minutes of that second penalty going in, he scores the third, completes his hat-trick, and the game's gone really from Wolves' perspective. I thought referee Jared Gillett probably got the 2 penalty decisions right, or at least I haven't got any complaints about them. But overall lost a bit of control of the game, and him and his officials were sort of booed off very heavily by the home fans at half-time. And Hwang Hee-chan got replaced with an injury just before half-time as well. Krejci came on, which, let's be honest, is an admission really from Rob Edwards that he got it wrong by making that change in that first half. Didn't go like for like, went to a back 5, which was the right decision. And Wolves were better second half. They scored a goal within sort of 10 minutes of the second half. Really good flick on from Adam Armstrong, the new signing, from a corner, and it lands sort of fortunately to Tolu, who does well to finish it. That came as well from Matheus Marni hitting the post with a really good effort as well just before that. And Wolves had their tails up a little bit. And I think Chelsea used their sort of nous fairly well to slow the game down a little bit, frustrate Wolves, going down a few injuries as as a lot of clubs and teams do, and Wolves probably don't do well enough, to be honest. And Wolves never really got back into it, and there weren't particularly many chances to shout off towards the back end of that second half. And the game ends with just sort of frustration really, because Wolves are so bad defensively in that first half. In terms of the fullbacks, Hugo Bueno I thought was desperately trying and doing fairly well against Pedro Neto when Wolves had a back 4, but he was totally isolated, and as soon as they made a couple of 1-2 passes, Neto was beyond him. And then on the other side, Doherty was really struggling with, I suppose it was a sort of mixture of Cucurella, Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, sort of all getting involved in sort of triangles on that side. And the decision, I think, to play the back 4, to play the system and personnel that they did from Rob Edwards was the mistake that he'll be ruining, because Wolves' fullbacks in particular were isolated and were being taken advantage of by the Chelsea attackers, who Chelsea, let's be honest, weren't particularly great today and didn't really step up into third gear, but they were able to coast really through it because of Wolves' own errors. 3 defeats on the spin, and they've got a really tough period coming up now. They've got Forest midweek, you go to Grimsby in the Cup, which is a potential banana skin. You've got Arsenal midweek here. You then go away to Palace. You've got Villa here on a Friday night, end in February. That's including today's game rather. That's 6 games in 3 weeks. And then you've got another midweek game then, going into early March, when you welcome Liverpool to Molineux. So it's a really tough and long period of games here now, where a lot of players will get a lot of minutes. But Wolves have got to be better than that defensively in that first half, and I think Rob Edwards has got to make the right call, and on this occasion I don't think he did. Plenty more reaction, we've still got the manager press conference to come, plenty more reaction on expressandstar.com. We'll have the podcast in midweek, so lots more stuff to come as well. So keep up to date for all the latest.